She's in court suing him for over $4,000 in baby expenses, but he says he's already bought her everything she asked. It was just a mistake. She claims she tagged the wrong person by accident, but he's not buying it.
You tagged yourself in the picture, and he said,
Her mom is here to defend her. She says he called her during the pregnancy and promised to be there for his daughter, no matter what.
And that was it. That was the end of the
behavior, saying she's not a victim in this, and that she's the one who created all this drama.
The reason why I stopped,
Facebook tag, I got that.
Okay, the Facebook tag. And
What has the envelope that will finally end this baby mama drama? Will he be on the hook for thousands more, or will he be proven right?
Pertaining to 4-month-old Nolani Harvey. Mr. Harvey, you are not her father. Mr. McKee, you never heard from Miss Thomas again during the whole pregnancy.
I haven't heard from her, Your Honor.
All while she was pregnant.
All while she was pregnant.
So you weren't there when the baby was born?
No, Your Honor.
This whole mess started on a dating app. Ms. Thomas and Mr. McKee hooked up, and now she's in court to prove he's the father of her baby boy, Carson.
Ms. Thomas, you and the defendant, Mr. McKee, met on an online dating website, and the conversation quickly jumped offline and into Mr. McKee's bed. You believed you were in a committed relationship with the defendant and was devastated when he denied your pregnancy.
But he says he wasn't looking for a relationship. He claims he was just having fun, but she fell for him after just a month.
I wasn't ready, Your Honor.
Tell me about it, though. You know, a lot of times we're in situations like this where there are two people on two different pages. I hear a lot of times when women say, you know, I was to him, and then the man will say, well, I wasn't committed to her, or even vice versa. Sometimes, you know, the man is committed and faithful, and the woman is.
How did she tell him she was pregnant? She sent him a picture of the positive test, and he replied, whatever you decide to do, just let me know, and then blocked her.
I said, let me take a pregnancy test. So I took a pregnancy test. I took a picture of it, and I sent it to him through text message. He was like, what is this? I like a pregnancy test. He's like, oh, okay, so whatever you decide to do, just let me know.
But she called me when she was like 3 months pregnant. I know I got a phone call, I was at work. I told her I'd call her back, but I ended up blocking her number.
He was a total ghost. He had no contact with her for the entire pregnancy and wasn't even there for the birth.
Mr. McKee, you never heard from Miss Thomas again during the whole pregnancy.
I haven't heard from her, Your Honor.
All while she was pregnant.
All while she was pregnant.
So you weren't there when the baby was born?
No, Your Honor.
His big reason for doubt is the baby's looks. He says the baby is too light-skinned and has different features, even joking that he looks like Donald Trump.
So, Mr. McKee, she sent you a text with the picture of the baby. Your first response was what?
The baby look like he can be for Donald Trump.
Like, really?
But that's not all. He says because she already has 7 other kids, he thinks she's probably getting with a lot of other guys too.
Who else you think she might be me?
You feel like because she has more than one child, that she potentially was entertaining a lot of different men. And so it's not just you she was sleeping. Is that what you're trying to say?
1 month.
Oh, now I get what you say. Okay, could you just talk?
She swears she wasn't with anyone else. She says her other kids' fathers were all black, so there's no way the baby could be so light unless it was his.
I meet you April the 1st, and April the 20th, we getting it in. It ain't gonna take long.
It's because she had sex with you so quickly that you felt like, well, maybe this is the type of person or type of woman who's also having sex with other people.
But when we first started off,
his own family is divided. His mom thinks the baby looks like him, but his aunt told her to go find the real father.
Do you feel like there's a resemblance?
My mama say it can be mine, but my auntie says she need to find the dad of that baby.
Okay, so even in your own family, the response has been?
Right.
It's hard.
It's off.
Carson's 8 months old. So you've been doing this all this time?
Yes, ma'am.
He's got his own drama. He already has 1 daughter and has 2 more kids on the way with 2 different women, who are sisters.
So do you have any other kids, Mr. McKee?
I have a daughter. I have 2 more on the way.
Right.
With your spouse or your girlfriend?
Girlfriend.
So the children were planned. So you have twins on the way?
No, not twin, but 2 different women.
But wait, after the results are read, she drops a final bombshell, revealing that the real father is actually her ex from before she even met Mr. McKee.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. McKee, you are not the father.
Are you serious?
We sit down, we have the discussion. I asked her point blank, am I the father of the child? Who's
And
the baby daddy?
Honest, right?
She
And
looked
what did
at
she
me
say?
and
I
said,
was honest.
you're not the father. Real talk.
This whole mess started when Mr. Matlock left town for just 1 week to visit his son. When he came back, his girlfriend, Ms. Monroe, had already moved her ex into their house.
Mr. Matlock,
Yes, ma'am.
you say that a few years back you were suddenly called away on family business.
She knew I was back and forth from Fort Smith, Fayetteville, because I have a son down in that area. Back in '07, I was down there for a week.
No.
She says he's the one to blame. She claims he stopped answering her calls for a whole month, so she thought he wasn't coming back and she had to move on.
Wonder where they are if they're not calling you, if you have no contact with them. So of course, yes, I did call him. Then he never answered my calls, and this went on for a whole month.
What number you
And
called?
Phone calls from Ms. Monroe and not answer 'em?
No, Your Honor, I wasn't. I would talk to her when I called her, but I don't feel like when I'm spending time with my son, I should have to drop in the
No,
time
you
with
should
my
still
son.
have.
But he says that's a total lie. He claims he forgave her for cheating. They got back together, and then a month and a half later, she dropped the bombshell that she was pregnant.
Ms. Monroe, when he went out of town, did he voluntarily call you at all while he
No.
was gone?
Lies.
Maybe
Not one
Wow.
call.
maybe 2 or 3 times. Like
Talked about it, we worked it out. I eventually moved back in the house, picking up a sexual relationship with her again.
At first, she told him he was not the father, but now she's in court trying to prove that he is. What a tangled web of lies.
We sit down, we have the discussion. I asked her point blank, am I the father of the child? Who's
And
the
I
baby
was
daddy?
honest, right?
She
And what
looked
did
at
she
me
say?
and
I was
said,
honest.
you're not the father. Real talk.
He's been paying child support for 4 years. He says he missed the first court date and was named the dad by default, and now he's paying $360 a month for a kid he's sure isn't his.
They sent, I didn't get no reply back. Next thing I got was I got served with papers saying I missed my date and I was a father by default. I have evidence to prove that, Your Honor.
So you didn't show you weren't there.
I was at work.
By default,
I am the father.
you were determined to be the father.
I am the father.
I've established now you're paying child support in the amount of $360 a month.
The child support has ruined his life. He says it destroyed his marriage to another woman and forced him to get a second job just to make the payments.
When my wife found out that they had taken child support out for a baby that I didn't know was mine or
she
not,
didn't worry about her own business.
we got into it. She was mad. We get into it. So I basically tell her, I got into a situation. I don't want to be with you no more. If you're going to be mad over this, let's just end it right now before it gets too far and we got to actually spend some real money to end this.
The mom-in-law says she even saw Ms. Monroe's other man driving her car and that he was bragging about being the baby's real dad.
First of all, my mama, my sisters, my brothers, none of us, none of my family care about, okay? If the baby was his, when I tried to go see the little girl on a Sunday, she's supposed to brought the little girl to see me, and she texted me out the blue and was like, well, she's not here. I supposed to went to the little girl's birthday party, but I live in a whole different town. You dig what I'm saying?
45 minutes.
Judge Lake has the envelope that holds the truth. Is Mr. Matlock the father, or was he right about her cheating all along?
When it comes to 5-year-old Kenya Monroe, Mr. Matlock, the wait is over. You are not.
I knew it! Go find your baby daddy!
In the beginning, me and Deshaun, we weren't really serious when we had our first son. I did cheat on him in the beginning.
This poor dude, Mr. Mitchell, is so fed up. He's in court to get DNA tests for his 2 sons because his wife, Ms. Dalton, has put him and the kids through a lot.
Mr. Mitchell, you are petitioning the court for 2 DNA tests to determine if you are the father of your estranged wife's 2 children, 2-year-old Deshaun Jr. and 1-year-old Bishop.
He's a total stand-up guy. Even with all his doubts, he has full custody of both little boys and is raising them all on his own.
You currently have custody of the 2 boys, so the stakes of today's results couldn't be higher.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's got some nerve. She tries to play the victim, claiming she was forced to leave her home. But he says she's the one who walked out with another man, telling him to take the kids.
What she did is she left with another man. She just came home one day, Your Honor, and just said, here are your kids, take the kids, and just walked out.
There was something that happened, and
That's what
I
she
was
did.
I was forced to leave my home.
Nobody forced her to leave. When she left me, Your Honor, and left the kids and walked out, Your Honor, I was on our city bus in the freezing.
She's a cheater, and she knows it. She admits she was getting with another man at the very beginning of their relationship, right when their first son was made.
In the beginning, me and Deshaun, we weren't really serious when we had our first son. I did cheat on him in the beginning.
How did he find out? He says the other man called her phone, and when he confronted her, she lied and said it was just her cousin.
I happened to end up finding out once we was over my sister's house. Some guy calls her phone, Your Honor. So when the guy calls her phone, I'm like, who is that? It's her cousin. That's what she says. It's my cousin. So when I said, okay.
The other man spilled all the tea. Mr. Mitchell says he made her call the guy back, and the man confessed they had been together without protection and that she might be pregnant.
I asked her to call him back. Once she calls him back, he talking about they been having sex and he ain't been using condoms and she may be pregnant. This what he's saying, Your Honor.
There was never
You
a
spoke to
time.
him?
But he's a good guy. Even with all those red flags, he still signed the first son's birth certificate because he wanted to believe her.
He was born?
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
Your Honor, I did.
You did?
Yes, I wanted to believe her, Your Honor. I really did.
He was there the whole pregnancy and the whole nine, in every room and everything.
Was he expressing doubt to you?
No, he was not, and that's why it came to me that he even thought.
The cheating never stopped. He says she was with 3 or 4 other men, and that she even got with a Keo worker right before their second son was born.
Mr. Mitchell, what is this doubt based on?
Your Honor, it's the cheating that she's constantly been doing, Your Honor. It's been 3, maybe 4 guys that she done cheated on me with. Probably 3 since we've been married.
And then after Deshaun was born, you all obviously stayed together because not long after, you have another child.
Correct.
She admits it again. She confesses that she did get with the co-worker, but tries to excuse it by saying their relationship was going through a rocky period.
So, yes, I did cheat with the guy, and I'm not saying that I didn't.
Your Honor, I came home one day, Your Honor. Guy is sitting on my couch, Your Honor.
On your couch?
And she done made dinner or lunch, whatever you want to call it, for this guy.
Judge Lake has 2 envelopes that will change everything. Will this man who stepped up be rewarded with the truth, or is he about to have his heart broken twice?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Mitchell, you are Bishop's father.
No, cause that's why it's funny, because how can somebody tell me who I was sleeping with? Nobody in the room was in the room with me when I was sleeping with somebody. What do I have to lie for?
Keyshawn told us that he wanted the blood test. The only way, Keyshawn only denied the baby when him and my daughter was arguing.
This whole heartbreaking story starts with Ms. Hooker, who is trying to prove her late ex-boyfriend Keyshawn is her baby's dad. But his mom, Miss Baker, is here to prove he's not.
Ms. Hooker, you are here with your mother because you say the defendant's son, Mr. Abraham, fathered your 10-month-old daughter, Kanaya. You say that Ms. Baker and her family's denial of this child has caused you pain, and you are here for an apology and to prove her son is the father.
The family's doubt is fueled by some really nasty rumors, including the fact that Keyshawn's own sister cruelly said baby Kanaya was too fat to be his baby.
It's not Miss Baker who denies Kenaya, it's her family who makes my daughter feel some type of way. It's not Miss Baker. She was too fat to be his baby. She fat like them, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Never from Miss Baker. It's always family who always have something to say about my grandbaby.
But Grandma Baker says her late son told her directly that he wasn't the only boy that had messed with Ms. Hooker. Was she with someone else behind his back?
But then when we finally found out for sure, he told me, he said he wasn't the only boy that had messed with Denaya.
Okay.
Keyshawn allegedly heard from another guy that he was also with Ms. Hooker while he was away. Was she really juggling 2 men at once?
On a Sunday, and he died that Friday.
I'm so very sorry.
He just told me to promise him that we was gonna get a test done because of what the other young man said, and you know.
What did the other young man say?
He told Keyshawn that when he wasn't around, he was supposedly sleeping with Denaya.
But Ms. Hooker swears she was loyal to Keyshawn and claims he only ever denied the baby when they were in a fight.
No, cause that's why it's funny, because how can somebody tell me who I was sleeping with? Nobody in the room was in the room with me when I was sleeping with somebody. What do I have to lie for?
Keyshawn told us that he wanted the blood test. The only way, Keyshawn only denied the baby when him and my daughter was arguing.
The family feud gets ugly. Keyshawn's sister says she can't even look at the baby because it's just a painful reminder that my brother's not here.
For me personally, to look at the baby because it's just a reminder that my brother's not here. So it's not about her and her feeling. When she does come around, it is a sense of sadness for me. So it's not that somebody looking at her crazy, dealing with
the ultimate act of disrespect. Baby Kanaya's name was completely left out of her alleged father's obituary after he was tragically murdered.
I came here because this is what I promised my baby, and it's gonna be done.
And the truth is, Ms. Baker, and you're right.
right now.
You're right.
Judge, my daughter really feels some type of way. It's not that she feels some type of way, it's like she more hurt behind the obituary. And Miss Carolyn has explained to her about the obituary, how the obituary went, but in her heart, she feel like Miss Bland left her out of the obituary on purpose.
But she makes a promise. If the baby is his, she will personally go back to the funeral home and have the obituaries reprinted with Kanaya's name included.
Since she got left out the obituary, I have already told them, if it comes back saying Kenaya belongs to Keyshawn, I'm going directly back to the funeral home and get a set of obituaries made. So when this baby grow up and she read her dad's obituary, there's her name.
The courtroom is dead silent. Will this baby be welcomed into a grieving family, or will she be rejected and left fatherless forever?
The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Baker, Mr. Abraham, and Kenaya Abraham is 0%.
And this is why right here.
You know, we're here discussing baby Hazel,
Yes, ma'am.
her paternity, and Ms. Jones asserts that your son is her biological father. Do you believe that? You do?
I do.
Please
I absolutely do.
tell the court why.
Well,
This whole mess starts with Mr. Joyner, a military vet, who was in court to prove he's not the father of Ms. Jones's baby, Hazel, after what he says was just a casual fling.
Mr. Joyner, you say you are a responsible U.S. military veteran who would never neglect a call and are 100% certain you are not her child's biological father.
But she says they were in a serious relationship. He was with her every day, and she was even cooking and cleaning for him.
Yes, ma'am. I know the situation because she used to take my car and go over there and visit him and stay sometimes this night and everything with him. I even went over there to his residence, spent the weekend and everything with them.
He's a total dog. He admits he didn't even know her name the first night they got together and only planned for it to be a temporary thing.
We were dating.
Your Honor, I would not say we was dating in any kind of serious relationship. I met her, our place where we worked at, it was a restaurant. I mean, hell, the first night I brought her home, Your Honor, I didn't even know her name. I mean, just to be honest.
His big reason for doubt? He claims in his 12 years of being with women, he has never gotten anyone pregnant. So he thinks it's impossible for him to be the dad.
It's not my baby. It is not my baby. I am a U.S. veteran. I am a military veteran, and I do take care of my responsibilities.
Do you have other children?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Grandma is all in. She says the baby looks just like him, and that she's already bought a ring with her potential granddaughter's birthstone on it.
they brought her to see me when she was 2 days old. Olivia, I didn't find out till 2 weeks before that she was pregnant. When you
So your
touch
son
a
never
baby,
told you?
Never. You know, you just know. I have a grandmother's ring I got in April. It has Hazel's name and birthstone right with the rest of my grandkids.
But he says his doubt is real because of a past heartbreak. He once raised another child he thought was his, only for a DNA test to prove he wasn't the father.
Your Honor, I have this to say. Not too long ago, a couple years ago, in West Virginia, where I moved from, there was another situation just similar to this one right here. Girl said that she had a baby, you know, it was mine, all this. And I mean, this baby looked identical to me. Identical. I thought so myself. I got attached to this baby, and the test results came in, and it was negative.
His mom is not having it. She says she's ashamed of him for denying the baby, and that he needs to be a man and step up.
Miss Jones's child, baby Hazel, is your biological child. Why do you think your mother's saying that?
I don't know, maybe just deep down she's ready for me to have a kid. I mean, she's ready for
you're
me.
not
I don't
responsible
know.
to have babies.
You know what I mean? My little brother, he has 2 of them, and I don't have any.
He's been a total deadbeat so far. The mom says he hasn't bought a single diaper, and the baby doesn't even have a crib to sleep in.
Needs to grow up, and denying it is not going to help. You're missing every day that you don't.
Sounds like your mother has stepped up in your absence thus far because she is 8 months old.
I was helping Olivia from day one. Been there and bought that baby diapers, clothes for me from day one when neither one of them would.
I was buying things for Hazel when nobody was.
Judge Lake has the envelope that holds the truth. Will Grandma get her wish, or is this man who's been hurt before about to be proven right?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Joyner, you are the father. Why do you have so many doubts?
She gave us the doubt because she told us very plainly she came back to Indiana to give birth to Jordan. She had another man there while the baby was being delivered that was her fiance at the time.
Mr. Belding Jr. is in court because he thinks the real father of his daughter, Jordan, might be his own father, Mr. Belding Sr.
Mr. Belding, you're here with your mother. You claim little Jordan's biological father may be your own father.
Yes, Your Honor.
How did this even happen? His dad, Mr. Belding Sr., had nowhere to go, so he moved in and was living with his son's girlfriend, Ms. Marsh.
We were living in Georgia, then he moved back to Indiana and got a room, or he shared a room with Amber.
He had nowhere to go, so I took him in.
Excuse me, Your Honor, but his sister lives there. He has numerous friends in Indiana.
His sister would not
I live there.
at all.
He could have lived other places than with her. He's lived with off and on for the past 3 years.
She says she's not a bad person. She just didn't want the man she calls dad to be homeless, so she took him in.
He had nowhere to go. Literally, I asked his sister, and his sister said, no, I'm not going to let a man I call my dad stay on the street.
The sleeping arrangements are super shady. At first, she says they slept in different rooms, but then admits they did share a bed, just not at the same time.
In my 3-bedroom apartment, it was different rooms. And then when we lived at my mom's, I worked third shift and he worked first. We slept in the same bed, but not together.
See who's lying? See how the story changes?
Wait a minute, so wait.
Our story isn't changing like her.
At first, we slept in different rooms.
But do you think it's appropriate for you to be sharing a bed on any level?
Well, we don't sleep in the same room.
His father?
But wait, there's more. His mom claims another man was at the hospital when the baby was born and was going to sign the birth certificate.
Why do you have so many doubts?
She gave us the doubt because she told us very plainly she came back to Indiana to give birth to Jordan. She had another man there while the baby was being delivered. There was her fiancé at the time.
The dad-son duo have a messy history. The son claims his dad arranged for Ms. Marsh to move to Georgia to be with him, but his dad just left him there and moved in with her.
It was after I had moved to Georgia to live with him and his dad to join the military. It's funny because I still have messages on my mom's phone from him saying, "Baby, I can't wait till you get."
You got those?
So now your father
He had her come down there.
possibly sleeping with her too because he's the one that decided to have her come down.
Yes.
You're right.
And then he left Zachary in Georgia by himself.
Enter the DAD. Mr. Belding Sr. takes the stand and swears he has never, ever laid a finger on Amber Marsh.
Did you ever share a bed with Ms. Marsh?
Kind of. I mean, the schedules between her mother's schedule, my schedule, and Amber's schedule, there was always someone there to take care of the baby. It's a little frustrating. I feel kind of demeaned by it, and I have never, ever.
Now for the new boyfriend. Ms. Marsh's new man, Tyson, is in court and says he's been daddy every single day while the other guys were gone.
And you are Ms. Marsh's boyfriend, and you've been helping her raise Jordan?
Every day.
Every day?
Every single day.
Good job.
I'm daddy.
The ex's mom claps back at the new boyfriend, saying, "She goes through men like you go through toilet paper, honey."
You won't be around long neither. She goes through men like you go through toilet paper, honey.
Yep.
Ask Matt Belding. He can testify that she's a hoe.
Oh, hold on, Miss.
It's time for the DMA results for the father and son. Will this baby's dad also be her grandpa?
Is the father of 3-year-old Jordan Marsh. Mr. Belding Sr., you are not Jordan's father.
Thank you.
Already knew that.
First, the lie detector results. Ms. Marsh was asked if she ever got with her ex-boyfriend's father. What will the test reveal?
You were asked, have you ever had sexual intercourse with your ex-boyfriend's father, Mr. Belding Sr.? You said no, and the lie detector determined that is the truth.
Excuse me, Your Honor, she got me. You don't have to worry about that. If I'm a man, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do. My job is to protect you and to love you, to show you how a man's supposed to treat you,
This is so emotional. Mr. Jenkins has been searching for his daughter, Ms. Bond, for 24 years, and today they are meeting for the very first time.
Mr. Jenkins, you reached out to the court to open a case. You believe that you have a long-lost daughter and hoped to one day find her to prove you are father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So we've located the woman you believe is your daughter, and she's here in court today.
But she doesn't believe him at all. She says she's never heard of him, his name isn't on her birth certificate, and her mom, who died in a car accident, never mentioned him.
Had you ever heard of Mr. Jenkins?
I've never heard of Mr. Jenkins. None of my family members have spoken on him. I also like to submit this as evidence. His name isn't even on my birth certificate.
You don't believe he's your father?
No, Your Honor. Never heard of him. No one has ever spoken of him. I've never seen any pictures. My mother never even spoke of him, brought him up in no conversations whatsoever.
He says he and her mom were in college together and so in love. He calls her banging and says she looked just like Lena Horne to him.
I've been looking for her over 24 years, Your Honor. Me and her mother was in college together. I'm telling you, she was banging. I mean, she had a nice big back porch on her. She had this pink jumpsuit on, and she used to wear this little black hat with an X on it. I mean, that was like, she was like Lena Horne to me,
Aww. He brought proof. He pulls out an ultrasound picture of her that he has saved for 24 long years.
I'd like to submit this here to the court, Your Honor. It's an ultrasound picture that I used to go to hospital with her. I was excited. I said, I got my first child. I got a girl. I was just blown away.
So this is an ultrasound picture of Miss Bond?
Yes.
That you've saved all these years?
Over 24 years.
Her past is so sad. She breaks down, revealing she's homeless, struggling to get her own children back, and feels so alone after losing both her parents in an accident.
I lost my mother.
Take your time.
And my father, and I didn't have anybody. And I struggle, and I'm still struggling. I'm homeless. I'm trying to get my children, and I have no one on my side, and I just feel so alone. I feel like a part of me is really missing.
He gets super emotional and makes her a beautiful promise saying, "You got me now. I'm your man. My job is to protect you and love you."
Excuse me, Your Honor, she got me. You know, you don't have to worry about that. Because I'm a man, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do. My job is to protect you and to love you, to show you how a man's supposed to treat you.
He says he's been trying to find her for years. He claims he would go to her family's house, but they would make him wait out on the porch and wouldn't let him see her.
I used to go over one of your family members' house. I used to come over there every Christmas. I used to go there, kept me out on the porch, played crazy on me, played like she didn't know who I was. I knocked on doors. I'd like to submit one more thing to the court.
I have a Facebook page. If you went for social media, you could have found me.
This is so tragic. He says he finally got in touch with her mom when she was 8, but a week later, her mom died in the car accident before he could see her.
You didn't get to see her?
I didn't get to see her.
What happened?
I talked to her on the phone, and she said, in the next week or so, I'll let you see Andrea. I said, how she's doing? She's doing pretty good. A week later, I called her back at that number, and I had heard some bad news that she was in a bad car accident.
Oh my goodness.
So why did he start searching so hard now? He says he was inspired after the musician Prince died, and he wants to be able to leave his own legacy to his daughter.
You call this court every single day.
Not just a while back, you know, music artist Prince had died, and he didn't have any estate and nothing to leave any of his stuff to. So the things that I have, or the things that I accomplished in life, I would like to leave them to my daughter.
After 24 years of searching, a tragic accident, and a lifetime of pain, the DNA results are here. Is this the happy ending she's been waiting for?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jenkins, you are her father.
Because I remember her mom talking about a David. That's your dad.
Who said David Watkins?
It was a David
My name
Watkins.
used to be David Watkins. I was adopted, and he changed my name to Watkins, and then when I got grown, I changed my name back to my dad's name.
After the man who raised her said, "I'm not your dad," Ms. Hannon's mother told her on her deathbed that another man, David Dorsey, was her real father.
Ms. Hannon, you grew up believing one man was your father until the age of 13 when he said, "I am not your daddy." Your mother then told you on her deathbed that another man, the defendant David Dorsey, is your biological father.
Today is the first time she's ever seen him, but when he walks into the courtroom, he goes right past her without a hug because he's sure he's not her dad.
She's been told that you are her biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
You walk through the doors, you walk right past her, no hug. You didn't even really look at her, acknowledge her.
I acknowledged her. I looked at her.
He drops a bombshell. He swears he's not her father because he has never met or even heard of her mother in his entire life. He doesn't recognize her picture at all.
You don't believe you're her biological father?
Not really, no, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I don't remember her mother at all.
You are standing here at the defendant's podium in this courtroom today saying you know you cannot be Miss Hannon's biological father because you have never met her mother. Miss Hannon, do you have a picture of your mother with you? Show that picture to Mr. Dorsey. Do you remember that woman?
No, ma'am.
But the godmother is here to spill the tea. She takes the stand and says she remembers Mr. Dorsey and that he used to bring her friend, the mom, lunch at work all the time.
Well, Your Honor, me and Fallon's mother, Veronica, we worked together. And Mr. Dorsey, I have seen him come to the job to bring her mom lunch. Her mom would talk about her baby daddy being David.
Here's a crazy twist. The godmother remembers the dad's name as David Watkins. Mr. Dorsey then admits his name used to be David Watkins before he was adopted.
Because I remember her mom talking about a David. That's your dad.
Oh wait,
But it
this
was
is David
Watkins.
Dorsey. You said David Watkins.
It was a David
My name
Watkins.
used to be David Watkins. I was adopted, and he changed my name to Watkins, and then when I got grown, I changed my name back to my dad's name.
Mr. Dorsey's other daughter, Melody, comes to court, and she's 100% convinced Ms. Hannon is her long-lost sister.
You know we are here discussing the paternity as it relates to Ms. Hannon.
Yes, I'm here to claim my sister. That's my sister.
She says her dad was a total Rolling Stone back in the day, known all over town as David Watkins, the Slayer of Woman. So it's totally possible he just forgot about her mom.
I don't mean to disrespect my dad, but my dad was a Rolling Stone, okay? So he was the man, and he was very known on the North Side for being David Watkins, you know, the Slayer of Women, you know? So.
The resemblance is insane. Melody says when she first saw a picture of Ms. Hannon on Facebook, she thought it was a picture of herself, about a good 50 pounds pounds ago.
Went onto Facebook, and I looked up her name. And when I seen her face, I was like, if that's not me, maybe about a good 50 pounds ago,
The sisterly bond is so strong. Before the results are even read, Ms. Dorsey tells Ms. Hannon, "You are my sister, period." And they share an emotional hug.
I love you. Okay, stop, just don't cry. Don't cry, it's gonna be okay. Because like I told you before, you are my sister, period.
After a deathbed confession and a shocking case of amnesia, the DNA results are here. Is this slayer of women her father, or is the truth lost forever?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Dorsey, you are not the father.
I didn't know it was 28 years that he held the secret. The day he came to tell me, I was under the assumption that my mother told him right before she died, which was in 2009. I just found out today that he actually knew it way back when I was 20.
He drops a bombshell origin story. He claims he met her mother 28 years ago when he found her beaten and bloody on the side of a lake. He rescued her, and their traumatic encounter led to a one-night stand that he believes resulted in a daughter he never knew.
Well, started out that I was a truck driver. I got tired and I pulled up by the Lake Isabel, and I was going to stay there overnight and sleep. I pulled up there, and before I turned the lights out, walking right along the side of and I seen this girl all in a bundle, all beat up, blood all over her face and on the clothes.
The secret gets even crazier. Years later, they all met again at church, where her mother confirmed Ms. Garcia was his daughter, but swore him to secrecy until the day she died.
She asked me, first she said, "Do you recognize who I am?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "That is your daughter that followed me in, and I don't want you telling her anything. I pass away, and I probably would be better if you didn't tell her at all. Ask her to sit down, and I want to talk to her." And I explained everything in detail.
A mind-blowing courtroom revelation. Ms. Garcia learns for the first time that Mr. Johnston has known this secret for 28 years. She had assumed her mother only told him on her deathbed.
I didn't know it was 28 years that he held the secret. The day he came to tell me, I was under the assumption that my mother told him right before she died, which was in 2009. I just found out today that he actually knew it way back when I was 20.
After decades of secrets and a powerful bond, the moment of truth has arrived. The judge opens the envelope to read the results. Will the DNA confirm the connection they've always felt, or is this the end of the road?
When it comes to Cindy Lee Garcia, Mr. Johnston, you are not her father.
A new couple hits the stage with some major drama. Mr. Caldwell doubts he's the father of their baby because his girlfriend, Ms. Fortson, admitted she cheated on him with another man right around the time of conception.
You claim your girlfriend, Ms. Fortson, cheated on you with another man that she says is just a friend.
Man.
Now, as a result, you say there's a strong possibility that you may not be the biological father of her 5-month-old daughter, Kariana.
He brought receipts to court. Mr. Caldwell presents a color-coded cheating calendar that shows the days she slept with him versus the days she slept with her friend, and they were back-to-back.
So you submitted a calendar to the court that outlines the estimated time of conception Ms. Fortson had sexual relations with. In yellow is the other possible, and the green is when she was intimate with you. The 29th and 30th of July, that'd be back-to-back days.
The disrespect is unreal. Mr. Caldwell reveals that after they got a new apartment together, his girlfriend let the other man sleep there before he did. He even overheard the man confess on the phone that he was still in love with her.
Not only that, I'm questioning their friendship too. They are really too close. Every time me and her do have an argument or whatever, he the first person she called, you know what I'm saying? We moved into a spot together.
Precious.
And before, we getting a little verbal altercation, he was the first person to spend the night in our spot. This supposed to be a spot me and her got together, and he slept out before me, so that's another thing that got me questioning.
But wait, she has receipts too. Ms. Fortson fires back with Facebook messages showing Mr. Caldwell calling another woman bae and saying, "I love you." This relationship is a total mess.
I have evidence that he was messing a girl on Facebook.
Passcode, email, and everything. Don't nobody have access to my account but me. I'm sorry for putting you in the midst of all my... Excuse me, but I never lied to you about nothing. I lied to her. I love you, baby. Basically, this relationship is a mess.
After all the cheating accusation and a mountain of drama, the DNA results will finally reveal the truth about their 5-month-old daughter. Is Mr. Caldwell the father, or will his worst fears be confirmed?
When it comes to 5-month-old Cariana Caldwell, Mr. Caldwell, you are her father. Do you believe you're the father?
No.
You don't?
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I haven't had sex with her.
Why would she just come up with your name like you the father?
I said, cause she assists with me. Everyone I talk to, she call him and tell him that I got her pregnant.
The drama exploded with a single phone call. The fiancé says she was blindsided when the ex, Ms. Pitts, called her up to drop the bombshell. I'm pregnant by Robert.
Back in September 2012, I received a phone call from their 12-year-old daughter stating that Ms. Pitts would like to speak with me. So once I got the phone to speak with Ms. Pitts, she said, I'm not calling you to be messy. I need to speak with you on a matter. So I'm like, okay, go ahead. What's the matter? She was like, I'm pregnant by Robert.
In a shocking twist, the ex reveals she was moments away from giving the baby up for adoption. With her hand on the dotted line, her family rushed in and convinced her to keep the child her husband promised to raise as his own.
When I gave birth to my daughter, my sister was at the hospital with me also. My hand was on the dotted line. My aunt came in and told me that she wasn't gonna let me get my child up for adoption. At that moment, I called my husband and talked to him about it. And he told me he didn't want me to get my baby up. He was gonna be there for my daughter.
He claims he's innocent and she's just obsessed with him. Mr. Slater swears he hasn't slept with his ex in years, but she fires back, "You ain't saying that when you was in my bed."
Do you believe you're the father?
No.
You don't?
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I haven't had sex with her.
Why would she just come up with your name like you the father?
I said, cause she assists with me. Everyone I talk to, she call him and tell him that I got her pregnant.
The courtroom erupts into chaos. The fighting between the women gets so intense that the bailiff has to step in and physically stand between them to keep order.
I'm okay. Let's be respectful.
You weren't saying that you was just in my bed.
I can't say.
I don't want the baby. You can have what you keep sleeping with if you don't want. It's got everything me and mine's need.
I can't tell you still.
Jerome, please go stand between the two ladies.
Just when you think it can't get messier, the fiancé drops a bombshell of her own. While their engagement was on pause over this drama, she also ended up pregnant by him.
Or when did your engagement?
I put it on pause then too, and then somehow I ended up.
Let him say they wasn't engaged, Your Honor.
I just had a baby in 2014 by this guy.
And so once you found out you were pregnant, you decided to stay with Mr. Slater.
Try to pan everything out and work on it.
Even the judge has had enough of his lies. After Mr. Slater repeatedly yells, "She's a lie," about everyone, the judge slams him saying, "Now I'm starting to believe you the lie."
Every time somebody testifies of something in this courtroom, the first thing out your mouth is "she's a lie." Now I'm starting to believe you the lie. You're gonna have to come up with some testimony in here that makes some sense. Because every time I turn around and ask you a question, you can't recall.
The fiancé lays down a final ultimatum. She tells the court that his bags are already pre-packed, and if the results prove he's the father, it's bye for good.
Right about now, I can't even say if she's his, he getting his walking papers. Good. He's already pre-packed.
Pre-packed?
Yes.
So if the results indicate he is the father,
it's bye.
Okay.
With a wedding hanging in the balance, the judge holds the envelope that contains everyone's future. Is he the father? And is this engagement over forever?
When it comes to 1-year-old Primrose Harmony Pitts, Mr. Slater, you are her father.
When I got that phone call, I was wondering, where would you get this from out of 30 years? If she can find out that I'm not her father out of 30 years, somebody could have told me. And I was with her mother every night.
In a shocking courtroom showdown, a woman has brought the man who raised her to court to prove he's not her father. She's so convinced another man is her real dad that he's waiting in the hallway to take his own DNA test.
Ms. Miller, you've summoned the defendant, Mr. White, to court to prove to him that he is not your biological father, even though he has believed he's your father your entire life.
Yes, Your Honor.
The man you now say is your father is waiting in the hallway and will join us in court in a moment.
The lifelong secret began with a chilling confession. As a teenager, she overheard her mother admit, "I don't don't know who your dad is, planting a seed of doubt that would haunt her for years.
And once I found out what they were, my mom and my grandmother was in the bedroom, and I said I wanted to go to my dad's house, Mr. Wright. So my mom, her back was turned to me, and she said, I don't know who your dad is, and that she believed more so that Mr. Wright is than Mr. White is.
She was forced to live a painful double life. To keep her two dads from discovering each other, she completely erased herself from social media, terrified that a single photo from a family barbecue would expose the 30-year lie.
I don't even have like social sites now, because if I do like family barbecues, which I spend a lot of time with Mr. Wright's side of it, from barbecues to parties, birthdays, and I don't do that with Mr. White. Other family members on Mr. White's side, you know, I didn't want them to run back and tell him like, who is this man Miranda's calling her dad, or to raise a lot of drama.
Two fathers are left heartbroken and confused. Mr. White, who was with her mother every night for years, is stunned. Meanwhile, Mr. Wright had no idea another man even existed.
When I got that phone call, I was wondering, where would you get this from out of 30 years? If she can find out that I'm not her father out of 30 years, somebody could have told me. And I was with her mother every night.
The evidence seems clear when a photo is revealed. Ms. Miller presents a picture showing an insane resemblance to Mr. Wright's entire family, from her freckles down to her nose.
I look so much like his entire family. From my grandmother to my auntie, his entire family looks just like me. The freckles, everything, we just look so much alike, the nose. I mean, I just believe in me being around him so much.
But a bombshell twist throws everything into chaos. When a side-by-side photo of her and Mr. White is shown, she's shocked to see an undeniable resemblance to him as well.
Submitted another photo to the court because you said you also feel like you look like Mr. White.
Oh wow, I never seen it side by side like that.
And you see a resemblance there as well.
Her heart and her mind are at war. After seeing the pictures, she admits that while her heart has always believed Mr. Wright is her dad, her gut feeling is gone, and the truth is completely in the air.
What that must feel like for you.
God, my heart is racing. I'm so nervous because now, that's why I said I'm here to seek my truth, because once seeing both of those pictures, like wow, I don't even know like in my heart anymore. When my heart, I feel like Mr. Wright is my dad.
After 30 years of secrets, the results are finally in the judge's hand. Two men have loved her as a daughter, but only one can be her biological father. Which man's world is about to be shattered forever?
It has been determined by this court. Ms. Miller's biological father is Mr. White.
I was asking him, you know, if he would ever have any more kids. And he was like, no, man. Honestly, I possibly have another child out there. I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah, you know, this girl I used to date way back, you know, she gave this baby up for adoption and never got to, you know, see it because he didn't know if it was a girl or boy.
After finding out she was adopted, Ms. Diaz has been on a 30-year journey to find her biological father, but her loving adoptive mom is scared she'll just get her heart broken again.
You have petitioned the court for the results of a DNA test, but you claim your adoptive mother, Ms. Mendoza, is trying to stop you from discovering the truth. Mrs. Mendoza, you state you doubt whether your adopted daughter has actually found her biological family. You say you fear today's results will just leave her heartbroken.
Her loving adoptive mom says she was told she could never have kids, so when a friend's husband got his mistress pregnant and neither wanted the baby, she stepped in to give her a home.
I was 20 years old. I was told that I was not ever going to have children. The opportunity arose for me to be able to raise a child. One of my ex-husband's best friends came and told us that he had gotten his mistress pregnant, her biological mother. She came to live with us. We came to the agreement. I was to raise this child. I was going to love her unconditional. She was my...
The search was so hard. For her 15th birthday, she didn't want a party. She just wanted to meet her biological mother to get some answers.
How did that come to be?
When Leah Selda was about to turn 15, I had to come to her and approached her and told her that it was time to start making preparations for her quinceañera, which is like a coming out party from transitioning from a child to a woman. Well, I was devastated when she told me that she didn't want a quinceañera, that what she wanted for her 15th birthday was to meet her biological mother.
Years later, a man named Carnell Honeycutt Jr. replied to an old online ad she posted. He said he thought they might be brother and sister.
I put an ad out searching for my biological father. I didn't get a response right away until July of 2013. The one who replied was Carnell Honeycutt Jr. And he told me that he felt like we were related, that we may share the same father.
How did he find her? He was talking to his dad, who was in jail, and his dad confessed that he might have another child out there that was given up for adoption.
Ever have any more kids? And he was like, no, man. Honestly, I possibly have another child out there. I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah, you know, this girl I used to date way back, you know, she gave this baby up for adoption and never got to, you know, see it because he didn't know if it was a girl or boy.
The dad in jail was so excited. He was mad at the biological mom for never telling him, saying if he had known, he would have taken care of my own child.
I told him, and he was excited, but he was really upset, disappointed at, you know, the woman that he was with at the time. He was really mad because he was like, you know, I would have known this, you know, I would have taken care of my own child.
So
he even sent a letter from jail. It said, I don't need a DNA test to know. You're my daughter, and I just know it.
Almost have closure to the unanswered questions you wanted for so long. The photos I received of you clearly shows that you have the Honeycutt genes. In my heart, I always knew I had a child out there, but could not prove it. I don't need a DNA test to know. You're my daughter, and I just know it.
But Ms. Diaz's adoptive dad is angry. He's been there for her whole life and just wants this painful search to stop so his wife won't be so upset.
Kind of makes me angry. We've been there for her all this time, and especially it upsets my wife. I just wanted to quit because every time she does that, it hurts my wife a lot. And not only that, it hurts the other kids that we got. And every time it doesn't come out the way she wanted, it hurts her too. I just want this to stop.
Judge Lake has the results. Will this woman who has searched her whole life finally find her family, or is this another dead end?
Probability of siblingship is 0.6%, which means they do not share biological parents. You're Ms. Merchant, and your name?
I'm Patrice Hansen.
So, Ms. Merchant, you were married to Mr. Hansen. At the time that Miss Percival was conceived.
Yes, I knew that she was born. I knew she was his when she was born.
For 31 years, Ms. Percival has been rejected by Mr. Hansen, the man her mom says is her father, who accepted her other sister, but not her.
You say for the past 31 years, your father has never been willing to accept you as his biological daughter.
Correct, Your Honor.
But his excuse is a shocker. He says he was married to another woman at the time, and his daughter with his wife was born just 1 month after Ms. Percival.
Why is it you deny her?
I was married with another woman at the time. There's no way. Me and the other woman that I was in a relationship with was having a baby, and I don't cheat. When I'm with somebody, I stay with somebody. I just got out of a 20-year marriage. I was with the woman 20 years, never cheated on her.
You're in a marriage. You say you never cheated on your wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Ms. Percival's mother, Charlene, says that's a total lie. She claims he was running back and forth between her and his wife, Trossie.
And I told her, we kept going back and forth. We were seeing each other back and forth. And then I had met somebody too, and I was sleeping with him. And then he was going back and forth to Tracy.
But Mr. Hansen insists he would never cheat on Trossie, ever, and even offers to take a lie detector test to prove it.
His contention is that he was married and he never cheated.
I'll take a lie detector test. I would never cheat on Tracy, ever.
He claims he didn't even know Ms. Percival existed until she was 12 or 13 years old. The mom says she told him, but he just denied her.
No, I didn't take off. I was refused to eat my daughter.
No, you refused
But
yourself.
I never got to, I didn't even know she was even around at 12 or 13 years old. I didn't even know she existed. That I even knew that she was around. Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
And were you clear with him when you were pregnant, this is your child?
Yes, I did tell him, and he told me no, I wasn't.
Surprise! The other woman is his ex-wife, Trossie, and their daughter, Treyasa. Trossie says she knew he was cheating because their daughters were born just 28 days apart.
You're Ms. Merchant, and your name?
I'm Patrice Hansen.
All right. So, Ms. Merchant, you were married to Mr. Hansen. At the time that Miss Percival was conceived.
Yes, I knew that she was born. I knew she was his when she was born.
Now Mr. Hansen drops another bomb. He says his wife cheated on him with his older brother. He claims that's why he doubts their daughter is even his.
You're also denying that Miss Hansen is your daughter.
50-50 chance.
Yeah, no.
Me, while we were married with
Your
my
Honor.
older brother. And I didn't even find this out until 5 years after we were divorced, that rumors were going around that she'd slept with my brother. I confronted my brother and he told me yes, he did.
His daughter Treyasa is heartbroken. She says he told her when she was just 11 that her uncle might be her real dad.
He did tell me that he thought that my uncle or somebody in the family was my father.
When did he tell you this?
Could be, I said.
Probably around 11.
When you were 11? So you grew up not knowing if your father, the person you thought was your father, or your uncle, was your biological father.
After decades of lies and family betrayals, first of 2 DNA results is here for Triasa, the daughter he raised but accused of being his brother's.
When it comes to the paternity of Ms. Hansen, Mr. Hansen, you are her father.
Now for Ms. Percival, the daughter he's denied for 31 years. Is this cheater who lied to everyone her real dad after all?
When it comes to the paternity of Ms. Percival, Mr. Hansen, you are her father. Was that because he was with you or because you all made a decision? Was it a 3-way consultation?
No, Your Honor. He was there at the birth. I felt like Nathan wasn't even ready if it was his own son because he didn't have a job. He didn't have a vehicle. He still lived with his parents, his aunt, somebody.
This family tree is a total mess. 2 first cousins, Cordell and Nathan, are in court because one of them is the father of baby Arrow, and their own mothers are identical twins.
She's one of the identical twins, submitted a statement to the court. The other identical twin.
The man who thinks he's the dad, Cordell, has a super strong bond with the baby. He says the baby smiles and crawls to him as soon as he gets home from work.
I come home from work, he smiles, crawls over to me. I leave, he cries until she comes home. He's just like my little buddy.
But he's also happy for his cousin. He says if the baby turns out to be his cousin's, he'll be happy because it would be his first child.
But at the same time, I'm happy because it'd be his first. And I'm happy for Kayla regardless because me and her had our miscarriage.
But the men's aunt is in court and she's spilling the tea. She says the baby mama tells one cousin he's the daddy, then turns around and tells the other one he's the daddy.
What do you know about this man?
I do know that she tells Nathan all the time, you're the daddy. Then she'll go back to Cordell and say, you're the daddy.
The drama at the hospital was real. The mom says she had an emergency C-section and Nathan didn't show up because he had no transportation.
I was told that she had a doctor's appointment that day and I told her to keep me updated, and I had no transportation. She went under emergency C-section. And
so who's on the birth certificate? It's Cordell. She says she put him on it because Nathan didn't have a job or a car and wasn't even ready to be a dad.
Oh, you put Mr. Nicola on the birth
certificate? Yes.
Was that because he was with you or because you all made a decision? Was it a 3-way consultation?
No, Your Honor. He was there at the birth. I felt like Nathan wasn't even ready if it was his own son because he didn't have a job. He didn't have a vehicle. He still lived with his parents, his aunt, somebody.
The judge calls her out. She wasn't picking the biological father. She was picking the best father for her baby.
So you picking the best father. You're not picking the biological father, you picking the best father.
The poor other cousin Nathan is heartbroken. He feels like she pushed me aside for him to be the dad, and it ripped my heart out.
It just really ripped my heart out because I thought she loved me more than to do that. But then again, I mean,
you thought she loved you more.
Not enough to not that she wouldn't have done that to me.
When you say done that to me, can you explain?
That she just basically pushed me aside for him to be the dad is what I feel.
The judge perfectly breaks down the drama. Nathan, the little brother, fell for his idolized big brother's girl, and now she's chosen the big brother over him.
I just got it. That's your brother, but you the big brother. He idolizes his big brother. His big brother had a girl. Girl was beautiful. When my big brother does things she doesn't like. And now she's keeping my baby away from me because now she really wants to be with my big brother, so they've taken my baby and made a family.
The DNA results are here. Which one of these cousins is the real father of baby Arrow?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Nicola.
No, then my boyfriend.
Were there multiple men you were sleeping with during the time of conception?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you know when you got pregnant, you did not know who the father of your child was?
Yes, Your Honor. But at the hospital, it was only one other person that I knew who came with us was my boyfriend, but I met him when I was already 5 months pregnant.
In this truly heartbreaking case, Ms. Alexander is in court to fulfill her late son, Nicholas's final wish, to get a DNA test for a baby he was never sure was his.
You and your daughter are here today because your son contacted paternity court. He was seeking a DNA test on a baby he was unsure. Sadly, just 2 weeks later, he died in a tragic accident.
The grandma claims it was even worse. She says Ms. Jackson told her there were several other men and that 2 other guys were at the hospital waiting to see the baby.
William was first born, the child was first born. She said that it was other men. It was 2 other guys.
That's not true.
There. And when the baby was born, they looked at it and looked at it, and they said it didn't look like like them and they dabbed each other and they left.
Ms. Jackson denies this, saying the only other person at the hospital was her new boyfriend, who she met when she was already 5 months pregnant.
Were there multiple men at the hospital baby was born?
No, then my boyfriend.
Were there multiple men you were sleeping with during the time of conception?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you know when you got pregnant, you did not know who the father of your child was?
Yes, Your Honor. But at the hospital, it was only one other person that I knew who came with us was my boyfriend, but I met him when I was already 5 months pregnant.
Even with all the doubt, Nicholas was so excited when the baby was born. A picture shows him happily holding his potential son for the very first time.
I do have a picture of him holding him when Will came out after I got done holding him.
He was excited when the baby
And
came
when
out.
he first came out, as I was holding him, he was telling me to hurry up so he can get him.
So he was excited to hold the baby for the first time.
I do have a picture of him holding my baby.
Ms. Jackson says she tried to get a DNA test the day the baby was born, but the hospital said no, and Nicholas wasn't willing to go through child support to get one done.
You know, got a paternity test for William.
I did try to get a paternity test the day Will was born, but the hospital told me we had to go to another place. And I tried taking him to that place, but he wasn't willing to do that with me. Because I had to open up a case with child support against him for me to take that DNA test.
Tragically, just 2 weeks before he died, he finally agreed to go with her to the child support office, but they couldn't get the test done that day.
They hooked up to go to child support, but they couldn't do it. I had talked Nicholas into doing that because I said, I don't believe he's yours.
The grandma reveals a painful secret. Nicholas had been tricked before by another woman who claimed her baby was his when it wasn't, which is why he was so scared.
And Nicholas had a previous relationship, and the girl told him the child was his, and it turned out it wasn't.
And they were actually in a relationship.
And they was in a relationship, not no fly-by-night. That was a fly-by-night relationship.
In a sweet moment, it's revealed that Nicholas loved the baby so much, he named him William after his own grandfather.
Nick actually named my baby.
William is named after my grandfather.
That is an interesting piece of information. Why would your son give Miss Jackson's son your grandfather's name?
Judge Lake has the results. Is baby William the last living piece of a young man gone too soon, or will this family's heartbreak continue?
It has been determined that Mr. Nicholas Alexander is not the father.
There was a possibility that there was another man.
Her dad, Mr. Bell, is suddenly denying his daughter, Tiana. Why? Because her mom once lied and said her other kid was his, but a DNA test proved she's real. She says every daughter needs her father, and she never had that, which led her down a tough path in life. Tiana admits she posted on Facebook that if he is her father, he will never see me or my son again, because he's hurt. This couple's engagement is totally on the line. Mr. Watson says if the DNA test proves he's not the dad of 4-year-old Kevin, the wedding is off.
You say today's results will determine the future of your relationship.
It will. I've known her since we were kids. We need to get these results because, you know, we are engaged and I would like to marry her, and I really hope this is my son.
And you say the relationship's on the line, meaning if the results don't turn out the way you would like, the relationship?
It's out the window, Your Honor. It's over with.
His biggest reason for doubt? He was away for a while, and when he came back, he found out she had 2 other men living in their house.
And so you were away and you came home. What did you find when you came home?
She had 2 men staying with her, and they were showering her with gifts. And
her weak excuse for the 2 roommates? She had no job, so she let close family friends stay to help with bills. She swears nothing was going on.
Miss Mahoney, did you have 2 men living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
You did?
I had no job. I had nothing to fend for myself. They were close family friends, and they just wanted to help me help them. I agreed to let them stay, and if I needed a toilet paper down, anything, they would help provide it.
And so were you providing them with anything besides a place to stay?
A bedroom.
But Mr. Watson says one of those men admitted to getting with her. When he tried to confront her about it with the man present, she refused.
Are you sleeping with?
Yes, Your Honor. He said yes.
There's been many girls doing it to the same. We have a problem where there's lots of people that were in our life trying to split us up.
So he said he was having sex with Miss Mahoney?
Yes.
You confronted her about that?
Yes, Maul.
What did she say?
Asked him, I told him we can go together in front of this person and ask them, and he doesn't want to.
But when I say let's go in front of him, she never does.
Then a friend of hers dropped another bomb on him. She allegedly called him, and said Ms. Mahoney was with multiple men and guys were crawling through the window late at night.
A friend called me one day and was like, I want to tell you everything. And she basically told me everything, the friend told me how she was sleeping with multiple men, plus the 2 staying with her, and how men were crawling through the window late at night, get them back.
Why would I have to have somebody crawl through a window?
But here's the crazy twist. Ms. Mahoney says that so-called friend was just lying because she had also gotten together with Mr. Watson under a bridge.
And this is what her former friend told you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because I just found out they had sexual intercourse under a bridge, okay? Under a bridge.
He denies it at first, but when the judge presses him, Mr. Watson finally admits he did have contact with her best friend.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman in any kind.
We've heard that before.
Right.
Was there sexual contact?
Yes, Your Honor.
Plot thickens. She claims they already took a DNA test through the state, proved he was the father with 99.9% certainty.
Hey, we got DNA.
You took a DNA test?
Yes, ma'am. I went and was on government assistance and child support. We have to comply with them. And they asked me who the father was. I told them who he was, and he ran from all the things, and finally they found him and had him go up there and take the DNA.
What did the DNA test say?
99.9%.
But he thinks those results were fake. He says it took 7 to 8 months to get them, and that her friend has a history of forging papers.
I even posted it on Facebook.
First of all, I didn't see no government stamp on it. And when she showed me it, quote me on this if I'm wrong, when I read it, it read like 99
of the black population in America, that he's 99.
7-8 months just to get here, and there was no
like
7 to 8 months.
They couldn't find him.
Judge Lake has the envelope that will decide their future. Is Mr. Watson the father, or is their engagement about to spectacularly blow up in the courtroom?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Watson, you are the father.
See? I love you.
Excuse me, Your Honor, she got me. You don't have to worry about that. If I'm a man, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do. My job is to protect you and to love you, to show you how a man's supposed to treat you,
This case is already messy right from the start. Ms. Rogers says Mr. Stone got her pregnant, but he's dodging responsibility. He says it was just a fling and that she was with other guys. Things are already heating up.
You say after an encounter with your elementary school sweetheart, you ended up pregnant. Has gone through great lengths to deny he is the father of your son, Christian. You say Ms. Rogers is promiscuous and it was only a casual fling. You say she has even slept with some of your friends and therefore it is impossible you are the father of her baby.
Ms. Rogers runs into her childhood crush, and somehow they go from long time no see to having intimate violence twice in one day. Their fling lasted about a month before she found out he had a girlfriend. Just when you think that's the big drama, nope, it gets worse.
I was at my friend's house, or I was at her boyfriend's house, and we were chilling, and he walked through the door, and I'm like, really? We was talking, laughing. We went back to my friend's house with her boyfriend, and we had sex that day. We left her house and went back to his house and had sex again a couple times. And after that, it's just like, repeatedly, we would hang out, have sex.
And then, boom, Mr. Stone drops a bomb. Their unprotected night together was during a threesome. The judge mishears and thinks he said freezer, making things even funnier. The audience is already losing it, and we're only getting started.
Did you have unprotected sex
One time,
with
Your
Ms.
Honor.
Stone?
It was not one time.
And that was in the threesome.
It was not. It was
in
not
the
one time.
where?
And the threesome between me, her, and...
We had a threesome. The night I found out that he had a girlfriend, we had a threesome.
Jerome, at first I thought he said in the freezer.
Ms. Rogers finds out she's pregnant while getting a birth control shot. Talk about bad timing. She's scared because she's 18 with twins and just got into college. Mr. Stone, however, swears she never even told him.
I went to the doctor to get my birth control shot because I know I'm having sex, so I'm like, I need to go because I don't want to have no more kids.
Anymore?
I have twins.
18 years old with 3 children?
Yes. I didn't want no more kids because I had just got accepted to college. Things was looking up, so I was like, I wanted to like put the cap on before anything happened, not knowing that I was already pregnant. So it was like, I was scared.
Ms. Rogers says Mr. Stone was right there for the ultrasound and even roasted the baby's big head. Mr. Stone says he never saw it and only got a picture through a text. Someone here is clearly lying and the audience knows it.
Yeah, I wasn't driving. I was in the passenger seat. My friend came to me. We were chilling, talking, and then he said he had to go pick them up and drop dropped them off.
He saw the ultrasound pictures when I came out the hospital. He looked at them. He held them in his hand and looked at
No, I
every
did not.
picture of my ultrasound. It said, you're having a boy. I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was 4 months pregnant. I give him that. I'm in the car with my friend. They had been over my house. They was like, I said, can you take me to my ultrasound? She said, okay.
Now we've reached the math part of the drama. Ms. Rogers says the doctor confirmed the baby was conceived in November, which lines up with their fling. Mr. Stone, though, is looking at the timeline like it's an impossible puzzle.
The lady said that I got pregnant during the beginning of November.
No, Your Honor, we were entering between the 17th and the 22nd. My birthday is the 24th. It was the week before my birthday.
We had been having sex for almost a month. We started having sex at the end of October towards the end of November.
It was the beginning, like the mid-November.
Ms. Rogers pulls out text message receipts where Mr. Stone calls the baby my baby. Now he's backpedaling, saying he got attached but still isn't sure. At this point, everyone is just waiting for that DNA test.
This is the first time he's seen this. Let me tell you something. When me and him talk, this is his baby. This is
really
baby. He says my baby. He does not say the baby. He says my baby.
Text messages. The messages say, from Mr. Stone, what are you doing? And you say, sitting here. And Mr. Stone says, oh, okay, I miss Nugget. You write, okay. And then you write back, Mr. Stone, when can I have my baby?
And then, boom, plot twist.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Stone, you are not the father.
This situation was wild from the start. Phelan Hannon thought Kimball was her dad until at 13, he hit her with, I am not your father. Years later, on her mom's deathbed, she found out her real dad was David Dorsey. Now, she had to track down a man she had never met.
Miss Hannon, you grew up believing one man was your father until the age of 13 when he said, I am not your daddy. Your mother then told you on her deathbed that another man, the defendant David Dorsey, is your biological father. You are here to prove paternity.
When Phelan was little, she asked Kimball to take her to a daddy-daughter dance. Instead of just going, he told her, I'm not your dad. Good luck. That's a next-level RSVP rejection. Just when it seemed bad, things got even messier.
Well, I believe David Dorsey is my biological father, but I grew up with my grandparents and my mom. Like you said, I was known for a man named Kimball to be my dad. I called him one day, the daddy-daughter dance. Instead of his response being, yes, I'll be there, it was, your mother's still lying to you, not your dad, you need to go find your real dad.
How cruel.
Before passing, Phelan's mom finally admitted she had guessed wrong. David Dorsey was her actual dad. So now, on top of grieving, Phelan had to track down a stranger and hope he didn't reject her too. Buckle up, this ride was far from over.
My mom, we would have our heart to heart because she was sick my whole entire life. You know, she would be talking about Kimball, she would talk about David. On her deathbed, she told me, I thought I'd pick the right one for you, but David's your father.
So just before your mother passed, she says to you, I thought I picked the right one for you, but David Dorsey is really your biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Denial. Imagine telling someone, hey, you might be my dad, and they reply, I don't even know your mom. David stood there, denying everything, while the audience gasped like they were watching a soap opera, but the receipts were coming.
You don't believe you're her biological father?
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because I don't remember her mother at all.
You don't remember her mother?
I don't know her mother.
So you are standing here at the defendant's podium in this courtroom today saying you know you cannot be Miss Hannon's biological father because you have never met her mother.
No, I haven't, Your Honor.
David thought he could deny it all until Phelan's godmother stepped in. She said, oh no, sir, I remember you. She recalled David bringing Phelan's mom lunch at work. Suddenly, he wasn't looking so sure of himself.
Me and Fallon's mother, Veronica, we worked together. Mr. Dorsey, I have seen him come to the job to bring her mom lunch. Her mom would talk about her baby daddy being David.
Your Honor.
You don't remember any of this?
Your Honor, I've never had sex with this woman.
David claimed he didn't know Phelan's mom, but then it turned out he had a different last name, David Watkins. That was the name Phelan had heard her whole life. Either this was a wild coincidence or someone's memory was off.
Because I remember her mom talking about a David. That's your dad.
Oh wait,
But
this is David Dorsey. You said David Watkins.
It was a David
My name used to be David Watkins. I was adopted, and he changed my name to Watkins, and then when I got grown, I changed my name back to my dad's name.
So what are you thinking? You thinking this woman just made this up?
Your Honor, I don't know this woman.
David's daughter, Melody, walked in and was like, Dad, stop playing. She hugged Phelan and said, that's my sister. If David wouldn't claim Phelan, Melody was going to do it for him.
I love you too. That's my sister. You know, I don't mean to disrespect my dad, but my dad was a Rolling Stone, okay? So he was the man, and like, he was very known on the North Side for being David Watkins, you know, the Slayer.
Melody revealed that people had always said Phelan looked just like her. She even saw Phelan's picture and thought, that's literally me. Meanwhile, David was still like, I don't know, I don't remember. Sir, do you need glasses?
There's this girl that looks like you. She looks so much like you. Can you please just get in contact with this girl, please? Because you look so much like her. Went onto Facebook, and I looked up her name. When I seen her face, I was like, if that's not me, maybe about a good 50 pounds ago,
Even David started questioning himself. He admitted Phelan looked like him and his daughter, but stuck to his I don't remember story. No worries, the DNA test was about to settle this.
I feel sorry for her.
Is there any part of you that says, if she is my daughter, I've missed out on 30 years of this woman's life, this young woman, this beautiful, smart young woman, I've missed out on her life?
Yeah, I'm torn that way too, though. I feel one kind of way, but then I feel bad if I missed out on her life, if I am her father.
Judge Lake opened the envelope and the room went silent. The result?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Dorsey, you are not the father.
This case is already a mess before it even starts. Miss Lockridge is 100% sure Mr. Tidwell is the father of her 10-month-old son, King, so she dragged him to court to prove it. Meanwhile, Mr. Tidwell looks lost, claiming they weren't in a real relationship and saying someone else must be the dad. Buckle up, this is just the beginning.
Ms. Lockridge, you've dragged the defendant, Mr. Tidwell, to court because he has refused to acknowledge your 10-month-old son, King. You are 100% sure he's the father and claim today's results will prove your case. You say you were never in a serious relationship with Ms. Lockridge and you were stunned when she told you she was pregnant.
Dispute. If confusion was a sport, these two would be gold medalists. Miss Lockridge says Mr. Tidwell has been a total ghost. No diapers, no clothes, no visits. She's taken long trips just for him to see the baby, and he still barely tries. Mr. Tidwell swears they were just hooking up and calls her obsessed. Oh, buddy, you have no idea what's coming.
Your Honor, Mr. Tidwell does not have a relationship with my son. The only time he's actually seen my son is when I've made it a convenience for him and brought him to him. That means traveling 4 hours on bus. He hasn't helped with diapers. He barely helped with any clothes, and it hurt. It's frustrating. He named my son King, and how am I supposed to raise a king, and he's not there?
You named him King, Mr. Tidwell?
Yes, Your Honor.
Reveal Imagine a sticky note, but instead of a reminder, it's an ultrasound photo. Miss Lockridge says she left a note and picture on his bed because his brother was there. Mr. Tidwell claims he was blindsided and only found out later through a text. That's one way to break the news, but wait until they discuss conception.
She came over to my house. We hung out. The next day, I see a piece of paper on my bed. I grab it, I looked at it. It was a note with an ultrasound in it. I'm not sure the exact words of the note, but it said that she didn't know how to tell me this, and she's sorry she had to tell me like that. So I called her, she didn't answer the phone. She ended up leaving me a text message saying that she was sorry and that she didn't know how to tell me that she was pregnant.
This pregnancy talk is next level awkward. Miss Lockridge says she mentioned having her period a week before, but Mr. Tidwell told her to shut up and carried on. Yes, that's a direct quote. The courtroom's collective jaw dropped. Mr. Tidwell calls it a total lie, shaking his head like he just heard the wildest thing ever.
When we conceived my child, I told him I just had my period a week ago.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
He said, shut up, and we kept going at it.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a lie, Your Honor.
You thought that he wanted or didn't mind if he got you pregnant.
I mean, he just got another girl pregnant 4 months prior, and I asked him, what you gonna do about it? He said, if it's mine, then I'm gonna take care of it. So next time I come over, heck yeah, I'm excited.
This is the part where the audience starts shaking their heads. Miss Lockridge kept him updated on doctor's appointments and even sent baby heartbeat recordings. He still didn't show up. She went through 36 hours of labor alone, and a nurse had to get special permission to stay with her. And just when you think he looks bad, it gets worse.
He didn't care about, I texted him when I was every doctor's appointment. I even sent him voice recordings of the heartbeat, all that. Like, when I had my son, I was in labor for 36 hours completely by myself, to the point where the nurse that was with me, she had to call the doctor and ask the doctor if she could stay with me because I was by myself.
This is like a game of telephone gone wrong. Mr. Tidwell's mom says Miss Lockridge ditched the baby on them for 2 weeks. Miss Lockridge says she asked them to watch him while she worked. Mr. Tidwell swears she disappeared and later returned with a mystery man. The drama just keeps piling up.
I don't understand how a mother could actually leave her child with that she doesn't really even know very well for 2 weeks.
It wasn't
and
2
get
weeks.
on the
It was
plane
Thursday to
and go
Tuesday
to Nevada saying she had a modeling job, just all of a sudden just jumps up and leaves this baby with us. We took care of the baby at that time.
I call her, I'm like, when are you coming back? Like, I have stuff to do too. I have, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, boom, she was there.
This debate is like an episode of CSI Baby Edition. Miss Lockridge presents baby photos as evidence, swearing King looks exactly like Mr. Tidwell's Tidwell's family. She even calls him an Ethiopian baby. Mr. Tidwell's mom isn't convinced, but all this arguing won't matter once the DNA results come in.
So here's the first picture. That is my son, King. And here is the second picture. That is Mr. Tidwell. The thing that catches me up is he looks like his side of the family.
He looks like an Ethiopian baby.
Really?
Yes, he does to me.
That's King.
And the next photo is Mr. Tidwell as a baby.
Look at the ear marks, the ear tags. There's nobody else.
Do you see a resemblance?
No.
If you placed a bet, you might want a refund.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Tidwell, you are not his father.
This episode is wild from the start, and the drama is real. Miss Salvo is sure Mr. Gonzalez is the dad naked in her mom's kitchen, and she just said, wow.
You've only had sex with Miss Salvo one time?
No, Your Honor, it was more than 6 times. I started off with her mom, so we would go over, we'd drink, started kissing, we started touching on each other, we went to the room, we had sex, I was thirsty.
Did you use protection?
She admits she had a boyfriend at the time and thought he was the dad, but when she saw Amaya, she thought, nope, this baby looks Hispanic. But let's be real, a dimple isn't a paternity test. Surprise, her boyfriend already took a DNA test, and he's not the dad either. Mr. Gonzalez is now convinced her best friend is the real father. Just when you think it's settling down, results are in.
Mr. Gonzalez, it has been determined by this court.
This was one of the saddest things ever. Mrs. Watts tells the court how both of her sons were ambushed and eliminated. Just when you think things can't get worse, there's a whole other problem.
Mrs. Watts, you are here on behalf of your deceased son, Alex, who was tragically murdered just a few months ago. I'm very sorry for your loss. You stand here on his behalf because you doubt he fathered the defendant's 20-month-old son, Caden, and you have asked for a DNA test to determine the truth.
Losing her sons was bad enough. Now she has to wonder if Caden is really her grandson. She explains that Alex never fully claimed the baby, which makes her suspicious. Now she needs a DNA test to get the truth.
I was told that my son Alex had been taken to the hospital in critical condition. When I got to the hospital to see Alex, he had passed. He had died on arrival. This has been very difficult for me.
I am so very sorry. Where you have now had to live with the doubt as to whether or not this beautiful little boy, Caden, is in fact your grandchild.
Yes.
Ms. Cheryl is 100% sure Alex is the dad. She even shows a cute video of Alex and Caden together. But then, the court digs into her past statements, and things start looking sketchy.
The relationship was like a father and son bond relationship. They were like 2 peas in a pod. Alex loved Caden to death.
Yeah, just like you don't hear what I'm saying? You mad at me now? You wanna annoy me? I don't care.
Mrs. Watts brings out a text where Ms. Cheryl admits she wasn't sure who the dad was. The courtroom reacts like they just saw a plot twist in a movie. And trust me, it only gets messier from here.
Alex is, and she said that she didn't know she needed a DNA test. She sent it to me in a text message.
Do you have that text message?
I do.
And you asked, question, are you pregnant by Alex? And Miss Cheryl responds, I don't really know, I don't believe so, but at this moment, I don't know, I have to get a blood test.
Caden's birth certificate doesn't even have Alex's name on it. On top of that, he doesn't even have Alex's last name. The judge and audience are side-eyeing Ms. Cheryl hard right now.
On the birth certificate, there is no father's name listed. Caden's last name is not your last name.
I gave him a friend of mine's last name only because I didn't want to give him a female's last name. When the time came for me and Alex to get a blood test, I told him we can go down to the court, and we can get his last name changed, no problem.
Alex's stepdad steps up and says Alex never mentioned Caden. He points out that Alex took a DNA test for his first daughter, but never did for Caden. The doubt just keeps growing.
If somebody got a child, they gonna say, well, this is my baby. Here, mama, look at my baby.
He never mentioned I have a baby on the way.
No, I just started seeing pictures like this. I'm like, well, he got a baby.
Alex has another daughter.
Yes.
Saying that this is my child.
Yes.
But Alex also got a blood test with his daughter also. They did get a blood test with her too.
Boom, the results are in.
It has been determined by this court. The percentage of relatedness between Ms. Lita Watts and Caden is 0.006%. You are not related.
This case was wild from the start. Mr. Jenkins says he found his long-lost daughter, but Ms. Bond is like, who is this man? The whole courtroom is already confused, and it only gets crazier.
Mr. Jenkins, you reached out to the court to open a case. You believe that you have a long-lost daughter and hope to one day find her to prove you are her father. So we've located the woman you believe is your daughter, and she's here in court today.
Imagine some random guy showing up saying he's your dad. Yep, that's Ms. Bond's life today. She shows her birth certificate like a receipt. proving his name isn't on there. Jenkins, however, isn't backing down that easily.
So this is your birth certificate?
Yes.
Under father's legal name, nothing is recorded.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you were raised by a man that you believe, you were told was your biological father.
Yes, he died in a car accident in 1999 with my mother, and I believe that that was my father.
So, Ms. Bond, ultimately, you come to court today completely in the dark.
Yes.
Jenkins pulls out an old ultrasound pic like it's a VIP pass to fatherhood land. He says he went to doctor visits and saved the photo for 24 years. Ms. Bond looks at him like he just tried to sell her a time machine.
It's an ultrasound picture that I used to go to the hospital with her.
You did. So when you found out she was pregnant,
I was excited. I said, I got my first child. I got a girl.
So this is an ultrasound picture of Ms. Bond.
Yes.
That you've saved all these years.
Over 24 years, I've been saving that picture right there.
Ms. Bond shares that she's been struggling and feels completely alone. Her story is heartbreaking, and the whole room gets quiet. Jenkins sees her pain, but she still isn't sure about him.
I felt alone. You know, I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't have anyone. I lost my mother and my father, and I didn't have anybody. I'm still struggling. I'm homeless. I'm trying to get my children, and I have no one on my side, and I just feel so alone. I feel like a part of me is really missing.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 sons.
There, Jenkins goes full movie dad mode and swears he's here now. He promises to love and support her, but she's still like, we'll see. The courtroom feels like a dramatic soap opera at this point.
Excuse me, Your Honor, she got me. You know, you don't have to worry about that. If I'm a man, I'm gonna step up and do what I gotta do. My job is to protect you and to love you, to show you how a man's supposed to treat you, you know.
I missed that growing up. I didn't have a father figure to tell me, you know, right from wrong. Today, I made a lot of wrong decisions because I didn't have anyone there.
Jenkins says he's been searching everywhere. Social media, phone numbers, knocking on doors. Ms. Bond is like, sir, how did you have my number and still not find me? Honestly, she's got a good point.
I used to go over one of your family members' house. I used to come over there every Christmas. I used to go there. Kept me out on the porch. Played crazy on me. Played like she didn't know who I was. I knocked on doors. I like to submit one more thing to the court.
I have a Facebook page. If you went for social media, you could have found me.
I did everything I could do. I've been looking for you over 24 years. That's one of your numbers that I have.
Jenkins says he lost touch again after her mom died, and the search restarted. Ms. Bond basically tells him, that's sad and all, but you could have tried harder. She's not wrong, and the tension is real.
I talked to her on the phone, and she said, in the next week or so, I'll let you see Andrea. I said, how she's doing? She's doing pretty good. A week later, I called her back at that number. Heard some bad news that she was in a bad car accident. Here we go again. Now it's starting all over again.
She got killed in the car accident. You could have came to the funeral. Still don't feel like you're my father. I'm sorry.
Judge Lake explains that since Jenkins isn't on the birth certificate, he had no legal rights to see her. So even if he wanted to, he couldn't just pop up like, surprise, I'm your dad. Now, it's time for the DNA test.
When you submitted your birth certificate to the court and under father, there was no name listed, because he was not listed, he doesn't have any rights to see you or to stake any claim to visit you, anything.
The room holds its breath as Judge Lake opens the envelope.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Jenkins, you are her father.